Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkars Tavern blog. Before I jump into today's topic, today's video, there's a link on the bottom of the screen. It's tenkars-tavern.games/dynamite. It'll take you to Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle has a number of bundles that are pretty cool right now. A couple of them are comic book bundles. This is the Dynamite bundle that will directly link you to, which has Red Sonja, has Army of Darkness, John Carter of Mars, a few others. If you like classic type of comics like that, got some really good choices. I like my comics. There's still another 2 days left on The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2020. So if you need inspiration for your adventures for your players, I think it's always a good source. And I don't think comic books are worth buying unless you're getting a huge bundle for inexpensive price. If you use the link, you're helping this channel. So on to today's topic from wargamer.com. New D&D book reviews old language with inclusivity consultants. Wizards of the Coast wanted to call out controversial language in its new D&D book, The Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons. Now, by the way, just a side note, this book is $99.99. Okay? If you buy it on Amazon, it is $99.99. Now, John Peterson is one of the main authors behind this. John does great work. He really does. He does solid work. But do we really? Well, let's just read the article and we can go from there. The upcoming D&D history book, The Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons, was created with the help of Inclusivity Consultants. Wizards of the Coast confirms. In a press event from May 15th, senior game designer Jason Tondro. Now, Jason is the one, I think he's the one that was in that video a couple of months back talking about this book and basically talking about how offended he was that he had to leave things as they were historically written because that's what history is, right? So, game designer Jason Tondro says these consultants helped identify language we would not use today in gaming. Everything is a product of the time it is made in. And if you're an adult, and I think most players of D&D are adults, if you're spending $99 on a making of D&D book, you're probably a bit more than just an adult. You're an adult with discretionary income. I think you can recognize products that were made in a certain time, right? Everybody watches older movies, right? Everybody watches movies that were made in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the aughts, and this is what streaming allows you to do. And are we going to go back and revise these? Well, I guess we reissue these movies. We remake them because we have no imagination. But that's a whole other topic for a whole other video. The Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons is an enormous non-fiction book that documents D&D's early history. Historian John Peterson has helped Wizards of the Coast put together the beginnings of D&D, showing the game's early influences, sales, and community. Senior designer Jason Tondro. Oh wow, you got to tell us twice that he's the senior game designer or senior designer. So the book also contains every page cover to cover of the first ever draft of D&D. Well, that's actually pretty cool, right? During the press event, Wizards of the Coast was asked how this new D&D book planned to tackle the more problematic side of RPG history. wonder, and I have, listen, obviously I'm in my 50s. I haven't seen and I was a history major. We didn't have, I don't know, uh, inclusivity readers, verifying our history books before we got them and read them. History is history, right? I know it's written by the winners, but if these are historical documents, whatever. To do this, Tandra says we do address this stuff in the book directly. One example Tandro shares is a parenthetical comment that's a dig at women's lib, a feminist political movement that pushed for equality for women. We hired inclusivity consultants because we wanted to know what we were in for and what we wanted to call out. Apparently, we aren't adult enough to call this shit out on our own. This has to be pointed out to us. Now, I already pre-ordered this book back in February. I'm probably still going to get it because that's what this channel does. I'll look at the book, I'll review it, and it's John Peterson. I expect, despite the flaws that Wizards of the Coast is adding to it, that the book will be an overall positive. But Wizards has to. If Wizards isn't shooting themselves in the foot, they're apparently not doing their proper job. Wizards of the Coast may have been vigilant for comments like this, but the tabletop RPG publisher has not attempted to erase D&D's less than savory history. We couldn't change it because it's history, but they would have changed it if they could. That's a difference. They've not attempted to because they would have been called out on it. So we included this material while calling it out and placing it in a historical context. I guess that's probably the video where Jason talks about that and his other stuff. It is not unusual for Wizards to call upon inclusivity consultants. In fact, since 2022, every word of in development D&D books has been reviewed by a cultural consultant. All right. Inclusivity and culture. I'm sure somebody out there that's watching this can tell me what the difference between, I guess inclusivity is gender, or I guess gender related, and cultural is racial and ethnic related. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know what these definitions are by the book, but that's because I don't believe they're interchangeable. So, cultural consultants were known to work on Dungeons and Dragons products even before this, although in some cases they didn't get credit. Launching on June 18th, this historical text is the next title up on the D&D release schedule. For more releases, here's our Vecna Eve of Ruin review. You want a Vecna Eve of Ruin review? I will link to last night's live stream with myself, Bad Mike, Jim Kitchen, and none other than Skeeter Green. Full of spoilers. So if you actually want to play it, don't watch the video. But if you watch the video, you won't want to play it. Just saying. Just saying. So, folks, on that note, like, subscribe, comment, you know the thing. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll those dice, roll them well. Live stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Live stream on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Hope to see you both times. In the meantime, I'll catch you all later. Be good. God bless.